I'm Honey German. My parents are Dominican. I was born and raised in New York City. I love sneakers, and I'm a body positive advocate.
I'm Carolina Bermudez. Soy nicaragüense, but I was born and raised in Ohio. I'm a wife, a mama, and a worker bee. This is Life in Spanglish.
Buenos dias and hello, my beautiful people.
Well, I don't know about beautiful. I am not feeling so great. I sound a little different, but I'm a little shiny right now. I got that after virus glow.
Listen, it looks like a facial glow.
Really, does it?
It does.
Well, thank you. Yes, yeah, we are back and we are ready to go, right?
I'm all fired up. It's a Monday morning when we're recording this, so it's like week reset, ready to go.
Well, I was looking forward to talking to you because we didn't get to see each other at the end of last week, which was when I got the virus from my son, who we now affectionately call the germ. That's Asher the germ. He got us so sick, the entire family.
Did you put him in some type of suit?
Oh, we would have put him in a bubble if we could have, but there's child protection and stuff no, we were all just so sick and laid up over the weekend. But I was thinking about all of the things that I have on my plate, and I was saying to myself, I had to give up going to Fiesta Latina, which we normally go to together.
Both of us,
yes, yeah. And I said to my husband about this, there's a reason why I'm not meant to be there.
There's always a reason when things happen.
Do you believe that?
I believe that.
I do. And normally I would be the type of person that would say, no, I would force it. I would have to get there. Now, I think later on in my life, now that I feel like I'm a little bit more settled and I even think a little more confident, I feel comfortable with saying I can't do that.
And that's huge because people tend to overextend themselves, and some of us are people pleasers, including me. It's like I want to say yes to everything. I want to make everyone happy. But then I kind of came to the conclusion that I'm like, hold on.
I can't do it all.
These people have no problems with shutting me down.
Right.
But 24/7, I'm serving a whole bunch of people for things that serve no purpose in my life.
But is it different between work and home? Because I'll tell you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, bless her heart, I love my mom. She is one of my very best. She is my best friend. But I can't say no to my mom.
Really?
No, I can't. She just put, so my dad is having a surprise 75th birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom's like, hija, vamos a hacer un cumpleaños para tu papá, okay? And I'm like, okay, so what does this mean? This means I have to do everything.
Exactly. Of course it does.
She's like, oh, it's just going to be a little dinner. I'm like, a little dinner? And she's like, yeah, pero necesitamos un menú y lo vamos a hacer en la rondalla or no, lo rancho. I don't even know where this thing is. And she's like giving me all the details. And I said to her, I'm like, well, Mom, what do you want me to do? Now I have this on my plate.
Now you have to be.
Now I have to go to Fiesta Latina. I have to party plan for my dad's 75th birthday. I have to party plan for my brother's 50th birthday because my sister-in-law put that on my plate. I had to buy a gift for my mom and dad, which I can't say it right now because it's a huge surprise. I'm the youngest of 6. Everybody put that on me.
Nah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
And that's the one thing I think as women, it is so difficult to say no.
It's terribly difficult, especially sometimes we feel like if you say no, it's a sign of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, can you help me with this? And no, she must be really overwhelmed. She really can't help me. But it's like, no, I don't want to. That's not something that I'm interested in or I'm going to benefit from it. And it's been really hard for me to do that. I've been kind of like a people pleaser when it comes to work and when it comes to my family life. It's like I say yes to every invitation. I say yes to weddings that are abroad. And lately I've been just scaling back and being like, honey, how is this going to help you? How does this benefit you? And if it doesn't, please feel free to say no.
But don't you think that people sometimes will interpret that as selfishness?
Yeah, but
you saying no because to them it's not benefiting them, then you're a selfish person.
Yeah, but you're trying to use me. You started this selfish shit. You're the one that kicked it off. So it's like, yeah, you want to use me, and I'm not gonna let you.
Well, I think that as I said before, as I've gotten, I think a little bit more experience, and as I've gone on in life, it's been easier for me to say no, but not in my personal life,
not in your family life,
which is really difficult. And I think that's kind of like, I don't even know if I want to call it the Latina guilt or if it's like your family guilt, but I just feel like I have to be there for my family, for the people who have been there for me, even if it does make me have like a nervous breakdown or, even if I feel like I have like the world crashing in on me. But I feel like it's incredibly difficult to say no to the people who matter to me. And not that the people who I work with don't matter, but it's just easier for me to say no to them.
Can I say this? For me, it's gotten to the point that I don't say no to the people that matter to me and my family because I never want them to feel like like I am removed, or I feel like I'm better than them, or I feel like I'm more successful than them just because we're on the radio or just because I'm a media personality.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's just like, okay, we want to go have mofongo in Queens on a Tuesday and all your cousins are going to be there. I'm going to make it a point to go because I never want to be viewed in the family as like, you think you're better than us, or you're too bougie, but I don't have the time.
But meanwhile, you're expected to be at a book signing for one of your friends, or you have a work responsibility that you have to be at, but you try to make it all happen. And this is something that I've been discussing with my girlfriends. You know, I think that when you're younger, you have this opinion, or you have this idea that if you say no, that's the last time they're ever going to ask me, or that's the last chance I'll ever get. Don't feel that way.
Don't feel that way, but there are people that are like that.
Yes.
I do hear people behind the scenes that are like, such and such inviting her to anything ever again. Because women can be petty, even towards the women that they love.
I think that's so unfair, though. You know? I mean, it is unfair, and I know I can't say that I haven't done it myself, but I think that we don't give each other enough of a break, or you don't put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
And when you visually see how someone moves, and they have a home, and they have children, and they have a husband, and they have a job, you, as someone in their inner circle, it's your responsibility to be more understanding.
Yeah.
And to, if I say no, I had a really long day and then I had to go home and I had to cook for my husband and I had to clean my home. No, I cannot come out now for drinks because I'm physically drained. I can't do it. So it's like a give and take. It's like your close ones have to understand and you have to be able to say no.
Yeah. But you also, I feel like, have that responsibility to follow through too on the flip side. You can't just be saying no, no, no all the time and expect people to still extend those invitations or just be as receptive to it, you know?
With me, it's like, give me time. If you tell me 6 months in advance, listen, this is my baby shower, I will make sure that I don't book any appearances. I'll make sure I don't say I'm going to come to work and edit some audio. Like, I'll make sure I give you that date. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people are like, hey, Friday, do you want to meet up for drinks? I'm in town. It's like, can I screenshot you my Friday calendar?
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to see what my Friday looks like? Because you don't. Like, you do not want to see it. So there's this great article, and it talked about how entrepreneurs, the one word that they have learned how to say is the word no. And it's made them more successful. And I thought, thinking back to when I was in my 20s, I didn't say no to anything. I did not say no to anything. And it was because I had that mentality. If I say no, I'll never get invited back. If I say no, they'll have another girl come and do what I do. Because there's, you know, a million other girls that want to be on the radio or want to be on TV. And so I really drove myself into this kind of rut of never saying no. But when you don't say no, you don't give yourself time to grow. Hold on. I'm going to pause on that for a second, because seriously, if you don't say no, you don't get to cultivate that talent. You don't get to sit with who you are.
Your thoughts.
You don't get to expand. So you're just going. You're like a jack of all trades, master of none. And that's really how I feel like I lived my 20s a lot of that time, because I was just trying to be everything, do everything, be everywhere. And then it stopped, you know?
And you took control of your life.
Yes.
It was just like, okay, this is what I'm going to do and this is what I'm not. I'm still kind of like in the middle. You know, it's like I came into my job in radio and in media, you know, recently, like the past 5 years. And at the beginning, I was just doing everything, anything. I was working 40, 50, 60 hours, whatever you guys needed me to work. I was just so grateful that I even got into the industry.
And that's the problem.
That I was just like, oh, no, I'm never saying no. What if I get fired? What if they realize, like, maybe she shouldn't even be here? And for the past few years, I have been saying yes to everything. I'm still not where you are, but I aspire to be.
Oh,
I do.
No.
I really do.
Yeah, I think that we're in two different, and that's the reason why I love doing this podcast with you, is because, you know, you're in a different phase of your career than I am, you know, and it's not that I don't love where I am, but it's just I'm seeing you come up on things that I experienced early on in my career. And I'm seeing you do them with such grace and such, you know, poise. And there was nobody back in the day when I was coming up that I could even ask, like, am I supposed to keep on doing these TV appearances for free? Like, what do I do, you know?
And luckily, I do have that. Like, I do have that with you. I do have that with Angie.
100%.
I can go to Charlemagne. I can ask. I can even ask people, like, how much should I charge for a tweet? So it's like, I'm super grateful for that. I'm not even going to lie to you. Because if I didn't have all these people to ask, like, hey, should I be getting paid for, like, this appearance? And they're like, absolutely, yes. Well, you know, under union rules. And I can only imagine not having anybody to ask all these questions.
I didn't. And as a woman, I think it's harder to say no. And it took my husband See, my mentor, honestly, was they've all been men.
Mm-hmm.
The two guys that I learned radio from, the Baker Boys, I was able to go to them for any type of advice. I knew that they would always look out for me and tell me, like, not what I wanted to hear, but what the truth was. And my husband, who's a financial planner, I would go to him because he was all I had. You know, my girlfriends don't work in this industry. My girlfriends don't understand the pressure, or, you know, if I say no to going to this one TV show, is that producer going to talk to another producer, and then I'm blocked from every TV show? And so my husband was really the one that said, you know what, Carolina, he's like, say no. Tell them my time is worth something. I need to get paid.
And it is 100%.
Or you're going to pay for a car, and you're going to, because I was paying for my own car to get to these places to do these hits because I was just so hungry.
You were so hungry, and I know what you're saying.
And I didn't want to lose the opportunity. So there's a big difference between saying no and being diva about it, or saying no and knowing your worth.
And this is the thing, is like, if these people are making money, you should also be making money. It's like, I say no a lot when people invite me to do club appearances. Club appearances, they're like, oh, come and we'll set you up in a table. I'm like, yeah, but you're making a whole lot of money. Why am I making a bottle? I can buy a bottle at the liquor store and drink it with my husband under the blankets.
Exactly.
So now my position is like, don't say yes to anything that benefits someone else and doesn't benefit you.
Boom.
And that's usually a good gauge of how you can say no to work-related things.
Yeah.
Family is different. You know, family, they're going...
Family's always going to guilt you into something.
100%.
I mean, your tia, your primo, everybody needs something, you know. But
they're like, make me a sancocho after work on a Tuesday. Sure, it takes 8 hours, but I'll make it for you. We'll eat it at 2 a.m. Family is different, but with work, that's how I gauge things. It's like, before I make a decision on saying yes or no, how does this benefit me? Does it benefit them and not me? Does it benefit us equally? It's like, unless it's charity work, please don't ask me to work for free if you're getting paid.
Yeah.
And that's a super easy way to gauge things, especially as women. We tend to like give away our free time and stay later. It's like, yeah, you want me to come to this appearance, but there's no transportation? Okay, I'll take the train in heels and a dress, no problem. And then you get there and people are pulling up in trucks because they demanded
or in a black
car service. Exactly.
I was on the freaking bus from Hoboken to Port Authority to a cab. And then I'm like, wait a minute, how am I $50 out now, you know, going to a TV appearance over at X Network, and you're getting me for free and I'm not getting paid anything. And yeah, people are like, oh, wow, I recognize you from that show. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't get paid a dime.
I lost money.
Yes, exactly.
And I understand, like, when you're getting started, you're going to take all these opportunities. You're just grateful to be on TV. It's like, you want me to pay you for me to be on TV? I will do it.
That's the hard part, though, honey. Isn't that the hard part?
It is super hard. And it's like, I'm there now, but I'm kind of like coming to the realization that it's just like, okay, you're here, you're established, you're talented, you're hired.
Right.
Stop stressing. Stop thinking that this can be taken away from you at any moment, or that if you don't comply or say yes to every single thing, your career is going to be over. Like, it
doesn't happen that way.
It doesn't happen that way, but you're very fearful at the beginning. It's like, you don't want to say no to big bosses. You don't want to say no to opportunities. And then what happens is you end up burning yourself out.
Yeah. No, it's so true. And you know what? I think it's so funny that Honey still gets asked to go to clubs. Nobody asked me to go to anything. I get asked to go to a kids club. That's pretty much it. I don't do appearances anymore because it's just so difficult for me to manage that in my family schedule. Like, I always tell people, from 6 to 10 a.m., I am on the air. After that, I turn into, like, I am a full-time stay-at-home mom after that, you know, and I have to find a way to juggle whatever my responsibilities are for the station and, you know, my career, but my kids come first. So
they do. And for it also, a lot of moms and a lot of women, even though you're not in media, your jobs will pull you in different directions. They will ask you to work overtime. How do you tell your boss you don't want to stay more than 8 hours at your job because you have a life afterwards?
Yeah, no, you know, it's so funny too, because I have this really amazing group of mom friends that I made like on Long Island. I didn't know anybody when I moved out there, and so I had to kind of like form my own little community.
I would want to be your friend if I was a mom.
Oh, we're the bad moms. We're the moms
I can
who
see
forget.
it. You don't got to tell me.
It was so funny. Lauren, my one friend, she forgot what time her daughter's Halloween parade was. No, it was so sad. She showed up. Literally, she was like the last person. She saw them all like marching back.
She like pushed her. Hurry up!
And she was like, "Wait a minute, I missed the parade."
Oh, she missed the parade.
She missed it, so that she had to like tell her daughter, "Oh, mommy was in the back. I saw saw everything. And then she felt so guilty. But that's the thing, is like, you're being pulled in 18 different directions. She doesn't work in media. You know, she has her own company. And it's like, how do you manage to tell your daughter you didn't see her on Halloween? You know, it's like all of these things that you have to kind of like come up with to just make it happen. So it isn't just people like us that work, you know, in television and radio. It's the moms that work as nurses. It's the moms that go to their jobs as, you know, executive assistants. And, you know, you get all of these responsibilities just like handed to you. How do you manage that? And I think it's like you have to try to finesse your way out of a lot of like sticky situations.
Of course, yeah. Especially you can have a boss, you know, at, let's say my friend, she works at an optical and she works every single day and she works till like 7 p.m. and she has kids. And I tell her sometimes when she's like, oh, I have to go in tomorrow, somebody called out. I'm like, why didn't you say no?
Yeah. Yeah, but see,
and she's like, I can't, you know, and I'm like, say no.
You know, I think that if there's anything to like kind of leave people with like a note of perhaps confidence, you know, it's saying no one time might be the thing that you need to set yourself apart.
Yeah, and it might be you set a boundary.
Yeah.
And your boss already knows, no, she has kids or she has to go to school or
I can do it this one time, but please, I'm so sorry. On Saturdays, my daughter, my son, my, you know, whatever, my nephew has soccer and I've committed to help him this season. You know, it's like letting people know. And I think in certain terms too. I mean, you always have to do it like we've said, you know, with grace and, you know, just tell them, just be like, look, I really want to help you out of a jam, but after this, I really can't do this, you know, and then that will let them
while
know.
You're saying
Exactly. So I feel like saying no to my boss has gotten slightly easier for me as the years have gone on, only because I think he's starting to understand who I am outside of here. So that's
and
the
things that are important to you. You know, it's like, I love my job, I love being here, but I love my kids, I love my husband, I love my home. Is it okay if I go put my tree up? Like, these also are very important things in life.
They're memories.
And if you never say no, you're not gonna have these pockets of times to create, you know, amazing memories with your family.
I just think it's so funny how we're sitting here and we're talking about how, you know, you've got to say no to this person. You have to say no to that person. Do you ever say no to your husband?
I try, but listen, he'll wear me down. He won't stop. He's relentless. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He'll be like, can we go, let's say, to this car show? I'll be like, I don't want to go to that. So you're really not gonna go to the car show? No, I told you I'm not gonna go to that. All right, so I guess I'm gonna go to this car show alone. Okay, what time is the car show? I'm wearing sneakers. Don't expect me to be sexy or don't expect me to be cute. I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm wearing sneakers and I'll go with you.
And then later on, she looks adorable and she got her sneakers on. And you know, she Instagrammed that photo. Okay, everybody.
You already know. It's hard to say no to my husband. And why? Because he lives with me. He is relentless and he just won't back off. Like at work, people will be like, oh, okay, not a problem. Yeah. This man will like wake up like, yeah, so today's a car show. What are we doing? I'm like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
And this is the thing that is so interesting about Honey and I is that like we are just completely the opposite.
We are.
It like we're living parallel lives, but they're so opposite because it's like I can never say no to my husband.
Really?
Because he asks for so little.
Aw,
Mark,
not my husband.
No, I'm telling you, Mark is he's an only child. Okay, so let me just set that up, okay? Because it's not
Give
like
me the scenario.
He's an only child. He's super independent. He is self-sufficient. I don't do his laundry. I don't make his meals. Like, I mean, I make dinner every night, you know, but like he'll eat. I'll go over like, es costumbre, you know, hacerle el plato, you know, like my mom will always say, like, go over, make him his plate. And he'll say, no, I got it. You know, he's just super independent.
That's good.
So I know that when Mark asks me for something, it's important.
Oh, wow. So he saves his requests. Got
Absolutely. So in January, I can't even believe I'm telling you this.
Tell me.
In January, we're going to the Monster Truck Show with our kids. Something I swore I would never do. I said,
I know what show that is.
You know
Nassau Coliseum?
Yes, exactly. And he was like, babe, so can we go to this one show? And I'm like, what show? I'm like thinking to myself, like, what show do you want to go to that I don't know about? You didn't ask me. And he's like, I really think it would be great for the boys. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm thinking to myself, Disney on Ice? Like, you know, what is it? It's the Monster Truck rally show or something. And I said, dude, you're out of your mind. And he's like, there's these 4 great tickets. They're right up front. I go, oh, perfect.
You've
This
already
is great.
looked.
Oh, yeah. No. So we're going to the Monster Truck Show in January, which I will let you guys all know about. So
I need pictures.
Yes.
I need footages, as Cardi would say.
yeah, footages for everybody. And this just goes to show you that I cannot say no.
Nah,
So.
my husband is relentless, bro. We'll be laying in bed. He'll be like, can you give me juice? I'll be like, no, I'm not getting up. Please, no, please, no, please. Oh, okay, please.
Yeah, fine. Just
let me
shut
just
up.
go get the juice. Let me just go get the juice. We have a weird dynamic. He
Yeah.
wears me down.
Yeah, but I think that that's the thing. It's like when you're in a relationship with somebody and you truly do care about them, you make them work for it a little bit. And then after you're like, all right, I got you.
All right, fine. I'll get you the piece of chocolate. I am not going down to the second floor deli we have in our building, though. That is out of the question.
No, that is where that's where you draw the line.
Exactly.
Well, we want you guys to tell us about the last time you've had to say no or what makes it difficult for you to say no. So definitely email us. We have an email address. It's lifeinspanglishpodcast@gmail.com. And then, honey, you have the socials because you're like the social girl.
Yes, you can follow us. We have LI Spanglish on Twitter and Instagram. And we also have a Facebook. So you can go like us. That's Life in Spanglish. And let's stay connected. Let's be friends. And let us know what you guys want us to talk about.
For sure, definitely. I want it's interesting that we talked about this week because I realized that last week it was Latina Equal Pay Day.
Oh, yeah, it was.
And we missed it.
Bro, I saw everybody was together, like Rosario Dawson, Eva
that.
Longoria,
Jessica Alba.
Gina Rodriguez. I was like, I want to be their friend, and I want that unapologetically Latina T-shirt, and I want to be wherever they are.
You know what? So really quickly before we go, I know we have to wrap, but I was so disappointed in reading some of the comments that people were saying because people like Rosario Dawson and Jessica Alba, they're like, you're millionaires. What do you know about equal pay? You know what I care about is that they're using their voice and their influence for those of us who don't have it.
Exactly.
So celebrate that. Celebrate your fellow Latinas. Celebrate each other just as women, period. I mean, I think that that's the importance of this podcast is that, yeah, Honey and I might be in 2 different life stages and we're both Latinas, but we're from different places. But in the end, we're just women trying to like navigate this thing,
And trying to bring positivity and trying to give a face, to our tribe.
Yeah.
Which is what they're doing. And I respect them. You know what it is? Social media just loves negativity.
Absolutely.
And it's like, yeah, okay, they don't understand what it might be like working at a law firm, upstate New York. But they do understand what being a Latina is and what wanting to get paid equally as their male counterparts is, whether it be $1 million or whether it be $60,000.
That's it.
And they're leading the way. And so are we.
Yes, let's do this.
So make sure you guys tune in. We're going to be doing this every single week.
Yeah, tune in next week. We'll be talking about other stuff that we think is important for you guys to know, or we'll just sit here and BS. I mean, you never know with us.
That's always fabulous, too.